What's up, everyone? Ben Raven coming to you from the press box here at Ford Field. The Lions are 12-2, losing to the Buffalo Bills. What was it? 48-42 in a pretty wild game. You know, the Bills were in control from the first quarter on, with the Lions fighting back for dear life from start to finish. And the defense, that makeshift pieced together defense, the cracks finally got the best of the Lions today. And it came against just a wow, what a show. I mean, honestly, guys, the Josh Allen experience in person is unbelievable. His ability to avoid sacks in the backfield, his ability to literally run like a stampeding buffalo at the line of scrimmage and then pull that thing back at the last second and let it rip with a fastball across the field. I mean, seriously, that the Bills jumped in front of the Lions by Allen's Herculean efforts and just the Bills running backs' abilities to just leak out at the right time, and just big days for the Bills running backs in the passing attack. I mean, Allen goes 23 of 34, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, add 68 yards and 2 scores on the ground. Bills' leading receiver on the day was former Lions draft pick Ty Johnson, who had 109 yards receiving in 18 games across 2 years with the Lions. Well, he had 5 catches for 114 yards today. And yeah, just it's one of those games where, like, obviously the defense was terrible, but like you're sitting back and you're just watching a legit, probably should win MVP quarterback play at his absolute best for the second straight week. I mean, Allen's ability, I really can't oversell it enough, to not only escape sacks, to not only make time in the pocket, but to completely suck the coverage in the defense into what he's doing, sprinting at the line of scrimmage, only for him to pull back and let the ball rip. I mean, the Lions have struggled with mobile quarterbacks the last couple of years. That's been well documented. Like, the guys with the true killer dual threat ability have beaten this team. The Lions held their own, beat Kyler Murray, held Anthony Richardson and the Colts in check. They've, Jordan Love isn't on the, like, a dual threat guy, but like they handled that too. But it's just a reminder that Allen's a different beast. I mean, he's like 6'5", 230, runs just fearless. That's the thing about Allen. He is fearless, he is aggressive, and his arm talent is unbelievable. So, yeah, I mean, the big news coming out of this one is that the Lions give up a season worst 48 points and a season worst 559 yards of net offense. It's back-to-back weeks the defense has allowed their season worst point total. These last 2 games, the only time the Lions have allowed more than 30 points, and that's back-to-back weeks. 31 points to the Packers in a win last week, 48 points to the Bills in a loss this week, and the defense has got some work to do, and it's not getting any easier for the Lions and Aaron Glenn. They were without Trevor Nowatzki in this game. He was second on the team among linebackers in snaps last week, so, like, I know Trevor Nowatzki, the former SVSU standout, isn't a household name. Like, he was playing a key role at Sam linebacker and linebacker for this defense. That was just another guy they had to replace. He didn't play today. The Lions lose Khalil Dorsey for the season, per Dan Campbell, with an ankle injury. Gross replay. Thoughts and prayers to Khalil Dorsey. Ugly injury. Campbell compared it to Hutchinson's injury. He is done for the year. And brace yourselves, because Dan Campbell is also worried that Aleem McNeil and his knee injury and Carlton Davis and his jaw injury will cost them the rest of the season too. Campbell did not elaborate on if that includes the postseason or not, but he said, I don't feel good about those guys. And then when pressed for clarity, was like, when I say I don't feel good about someone, I'm talking about the rest of the year. And that was in regards to Davis. He exited with a jaw injury, was evaluated for a concussion. The Lions ruled him out with a jaw injury. That sucks. And Aleem McNeil, the knee injury did not return. You knew something was off when McNeil came off the field, sitting up here at the press box. He was ticked off about the injury. They tried to look at him on the bench. Then they went to the blue tent, and he was pretty quickly ruled out after going into the blue tent. So that's tough. Campbell was asked about ACL, said he's undergoing testing right now. He doesn't have specifics, but the fear that Carlton Davis, who has been playing great, top-rated cornerback since like week 7 or 8 per Pro Football Focus, that's brutal. And then McNeil, I mean, they extended him big money, near $100 million extension earlier this year. I mean, he's a true franchise pillar. He's a true cornerstone piece for that defensive line that's already without Aiden Hutchinson. And now they lose another top dog, and it's tough. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses because it's beyond that. And sorry, got somebody coming in here. I'm almost done anyway, but yeah, that's tough. Not good for Davis or McNeil. Dorsey is a return guy, depth cornerback player. And so that's just another hit to the depth. That's another hit to special teams. That's just another hit to the cornerback, especially with Davis being out. Yeah, no, it just on a day. I haven't even mentioned the offense. Jared Goff almost threw for 500 yards with 5 touchdowns. Goff, crazy season he's having. The Lions win a game where he throws 5 interceptions, and then they lose a game where he throws 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. First quarterback in NFL history to lose a game while hitting those type of numbers. And they fell in that 14-0 hole, and they just couldn't get back. No matter what happened, they just couldn't close that gap all the way. It's one of those games where, like, I don't really know what to focus on as the turning point. Falling in a 14-0 hole in the first quarter was obviously not the recipe for success against the league's other highest scoring offense. And with Allen playing the way he was, that's just not a recipe for success. But St. Brown had a big day. Sam Laporta had a season-high 111 yards. I mean, the offense was clicking. The one big concern is the rushing attack. The Lions ran only 15 times. Montgomery had more carries than yards. Goff was the team's second leading rusher. I know they had to go away from the ground game because of just the flow of the game and playing from behind the whole time. But, like, this offense never wants to throw the ball 59 times. If this offense is throwing the ball 59 times, you know that they're in for a tough game. And credit to Goff and the offense for fighting back, for giving the Lions a chance. They take the onside kick with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, down 10, and the Bills almost return that all the way and score on their first play of the drive to put the deficit back at 17 points. And it just was too much to overcome. I mean, shoot, the Lions only lose by 6 points, and my goodness, that final onside kick for like a full minute there, waiting for the refs to signal something. I thought maybe the Lions recovered it, but hey, it's one thing, they got shredded. They're missing a lot of defensive pieces. They're going to be missing more moving forward. They know they've got to be better because these are the type of offenses, these are the type of quarterbacks you face when you get to the playoffs, and they're going to have dual threat ability. They're going to have arm talent. They're going to be freaks like Allen is. There's not another Josh Allen on the planet, but there are a lot of good quarterbacks who can beat you this way, waiting for you in the postseason. And the Lions are 12-2. The Eagles won today, so they're tied at the top of the NFC with the Lions. Just a brutal, cruel twist of fate for the Lions to be on a franchise record 11-game winning streak, to be tied at the top of the NFC. The Vikings host the free-falling Bears tomorrow night with a chance to. The Lions have the tiebreaker right now over the Vikings, but they have a chance to join the Eagles and the Lions at the top of the NFC picture with 12 wins. So no room for error. Absolutely no room for error. Yeah. So, the Lions are back on the road the next 2 weeks. It's Chicago Bears next week, and then Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers, and then they end the season against the Minnesota Vikings, Week 18, and what could be for all the marbles, whether in the NFC or the NFC North. We will see, guys. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to record a podcast here shortly, but check out our Subtext Insider texting service, mlive.com/Lions for everything else. And subscribe to the Dungeon of Doom podcast, and I'll catch you on the flip side. But tough day here. Lions lose 48-42. Goff becomes the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for more than 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and still lose the game. So that's just the type of day it was for the defense. They could not get Allen off the field. They could not get the big turnover. Got a couple decent stops and held the Bills to a missed field goal and a field goal late in the game. But just like that early deficit and just the uphill battle that they were fighting was just insurmountable. So tough day for the Lions. They're still 12-2. But, it is tight in the NFC and in the NFC North.